It was a quiet evening in downtown Chicago when Ethan Turner sat alone at a candle-lit table, staring at his reflection in a half-empty glass of wine. The restaurant was one of those elegant places where time seemed to move slower, soft jazz playing in the background, silverware clinking gently, and the scent of roses drifting in the air. He had been there for almost 20 minutes, waiting for a woman he'd never met, arranged through a friend who swore she was perfect for him. Ethan wasn't even sure why he'd agreed to come. Maybe it was loneliness, maybe it was guilt, or maybe, deep down, he just wanted to feel something again after years of emotional numbness. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the beauty of fate, then please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. Because this story is about how destiny can bring two hearts together, even after life tears them apart. Ethan adjusted his tie nervously as his phone buzzed with a text. "She'll be there in 5 minutes." He sighed, glancing toward the entrance. He'd gone on blind dates before, but this one felt different, heavier somehow, like something was about to shift. He didn't know that tonight he was about to meet someone who would shake the very foundation of his heart. The door opened, and a woman walked in. She was wearing a soft blue dress that flowed around her like gentle waves, her hair tucked behind her ear as she scanned the room. There was something achingly familiar about her, something in the way she moved, cautious yet graceful. She spotted him, smiled politely, and began to walk toward his table. Ethan stood, offering a hand as she introduced herself. "Hi, I'm Claire," she said with a quiet confidence. Her voice was warm, soothing. They shook hands, and for a split second he felt a flicker of recognition, a faint echo of a memory he couldn't place. But he brushed it aside. She didn't seem familiar. Maybe it was just déjà vu. They sat and conversation began. At first, it was polite small talk, work, hobbies, favorite movies. She was kind, insightful, and had an infectious laugh that made him smile despite himself. Yet, beneath her calm surface, there was something guarded in her eyes, like she carried a story she wasn't ready to tell. Ethan, too, carried his own ghosts. Years ago, he'd been in a relationship that ended tragically. Her name was Emily, his college sweetheart, his best friend, his everything. They dreamed of building a life together until a car accident one rainy night took everything away. Emily had been severely injured, leaving her face disfigured and her spirit shattered. She'd pushed him away, convinced he deserved someone whole. Ethan had tried to stay, to love her through it all, but she disappeared without a trace, changing her number, moving away, vanishing from his world completely. He spent years searching, but eventually gave up, drowning himself in work and silence. Now, sitting across from Claire, he couldn't help but feel a strange pull, as if the universe was whispering something he couldn't quite hear. When she laughed again, he noticed the way her eyes glimmered, the way her hand instinctively brushed her right cheek. A small, almost unconscious gesture. It sent a shiver through him. Hours passed like minutes. They shared stories about life, about pain, about the strange beauty of survival. Claire told him she'd moved back to the city after a long break, trying to rebuild herself after years of hiding. She didn't say from what. He didn't pry. But when she looked at him, really looked, there was a softness there, a depth that made his heart ache. As the evening wound down, the waiter brought the check. Claire reached for it at the same time he did, and their hands touched. In that instant, something electric coursed through Ethan, a sudden rush of memories, of late-night talks, of shared dreams under starlit skies. His heart stumbled. He looked into her eyes, really looked, and everything stopped. He saw it. The tiny scar just beneath her left eye, the same one he used to kiss every morning. The same soft hazel eyes that once cried in his arms, the same trembling lips that had whispered goodbye through tears years ago. His breath caught. "Emily," he whispered, his voice barely audible. Her eyes widened, and for the first time that evening, her composure broke. Tears welled up, glistening in the candlelight. She didn't need to speak. Her silence was an answer in itself. For a long moment, neither of them moved. The air between them was thick with disbelief and emotion. two souls frozen in time, meeting again after being lost in separate storms. Ethan's chest tightened, and his hands trembled as memories flooded back. The hospital, the rain, the night she disappeared. Emily, or Claire as she had become, finally spoke, her voice fragile but steady. "I didn't think you'd recognize me," she said softly. "I didn't even think I'd ever see you again." She looked away, blinking back tears. "I wasn't the same person after that night, Ethan. I thought I was saving you from the pain of staying with someone broken." He wanted to speak, to tell her how wrong she was, how he had spent years blaming himself, wondering if he could have saved her. But his throat closed up. All he could do was stare, the years of loneliness collapsing into this single surreal moment. She explained that after the accident she'd undergone multiple surgeries, each one changing her appearance slightly. But no operation could heal her spirit. She'd changed her name, moved away, tried to live under a new identity because facing him felt impossible. "Every time I looked in the mirror, I saw the girl who ruined your life," she said through trembling lips. "I didn't want to be her anymore." Ethan's heart shattered. "You never ruined anything," he said quietly. "You were my life." The world outside faded away, the soft jazz, the waiters, the clinking. Glasses, none of it existed anymore. It was just them, two people staring at what could have been and what might still be. The night stretched on as they talked, really talked, for the first time in years. She told him about the pain, the surgeries, the isolation, the fear of facing someone who had loved her when she no longer loved herself. He listened, his eyes never leaving hers. And for the first time since she'd left, Ethan felt alive again. He realized that love wasn't about perfection or beauty. It was about connection, the invisible thread that time and distance could never break. When the restaurant finally began to close, they stepped outside together. The night air was cool, carrying the faint scent of rain. Emily hesitated, wrapping her shawl around her shoulders. "I didn't come here to hurt you," she whispered. "I just wanted to see if I could still feel something." Ethan smiled faintly. "And did you?" She looked up at him, tears glistening. "Yes. Too much." They stood there, both silent, both trembling. Two broken souls rediscovering the warmth of something they thought they'd lost forever. And then, slowly, he reached for her hand. She didn't pull away this time. Their fingers intertwined just as they used to, fitting together as if they'd never been apart. The city lights reflected in her eyes, and in that glow, Ethan saw not the scars or the pain, but the woman he had loved all along. Stronger, braver, more beautiful than ever. He knew that life had given them a second chance, and he wasn't going to waste it. As they walked down the quiet street, the world felt different, softer somehow. The air was filled with unspoken promises and fragile hope. Emily leaned into him, resting her head on his shoulder. "Maybe," she murmured, "some people are meant to find each other more than once." Ethan smiled, whispering, "And maybe some loves never die, they just wait." Their footsteps echoed gently as they disappeared into the night, two souls finally finding their way home. If this story touched your heart, please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us bring more emotional and inspiring stories like this one to life. Before you go, tell us in the comments, do you believe that true love can survive even after years of silence and pain? Because sometimes, the most powerful reunions are the ones written by destiny itself.